Welcome to Finding Solutions with eBay Joey and Stevie D. Welcome to a Reseller's Journey presents Finding Solutions. I'm your host, eBay Joey, and my co-host, Stevie D. And if this is your first time to Finding Solutions, welcome. And if you're a regular guest, welcome back. How you doing, Stevie?
Doing wonderful, Joseph. How you doing, my man?
My legal name, huh? I'm
Uh,
doing
you,
good, man. I'm doing good. February's off to a really great start.
it's awesome to hear, man. I'm happy to hear that for you. I've had some ups and downs over the first 10 days or so, but I can't complain. Sales are sales, and
Yeah.
it's picking up as the month's going on.
Yeah, I got a video that just came out last week. Excited about that one.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of content, man. It's good. I love what you're putting out there to try to help the people out, man.
Awesome. Well, today something we're going to do a little bit different. Normally, we answer questions from the audience and we find the solution. However, this time around, Stevie, we're going to debate. We're going to find the solution for the people that are for the low ballers and then the people that are against the low ballers, or I like to say undercutters. Um, I believe a low baller is someone that sends an offer that is low, and I believe people that price low to sell their product are undercutters. So would you say that's a fair assumption?
Yeah, this might be the only time we agree the whole entire debate here. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I think this is I don't know if this is a topic we're going to get a solution to. I wish
Mhm.
we could get a solution to it, but this is a definite hot topic in the community right now that we can get into.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get it started. The biggest issue that people have, and especially in the community that we're part of, is you always hear people say these people are tanking the price, they're tanking the market. And for me, even though that's rightfully true, I don't think it should affect the person that is listed higher. Just because your price lower, Stevie, doesn't mean you're going to get a sale, right?
No, that's absolutely correct, man. I mean, listen, I'm one of the people who will go on Instagram and vent every once in a while, which I don't know why I waste my time anymore, but I do. And part of it is, in defense of premium product just getting ripped to shreds. And, it extends everybody's sell time and lessens profits, that we should be making. I'm of the mindset at this point now where, I buy a shoe, I'm on a 6 month to 12-month wait on it. I mean, that's just the way that it is for me now. And I'm fine with that, but not everybody's in that position. So I think this is something that we definitely have to hit this from a couple different angles here and compare some notes for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say 6 months to 12 months with a shoe, and with this topic, we're going to talk about shoes because that's the majority of what we do. Now we sell other items, but let's focus on the shoe. Now, I think the reason why people sit so long on a shoe because of the price is because there's just the supply is just out there. It's overflowing, or what we like to say, it's flooded. So when an item's flooded and there's, let's say, 500 listings, regardless on the size, it's going to take some time for the sell through rate to get the price that you want. Now, sometimes the low ballers might exit right away. Sometimes someone that's a little bit higher might exit, but it's really up to the consumer and the demand.
No, absolutely. And I think one of the things that we've seen, for anybody who's done this for years is that, a shoe comes out at Ross, Marshalls, Burlington. We see a couple quick pictures come up. Everyone races to get it listed. And 2 weeks later, you have 500 listings up, like you
Mm.
said. And at that point, the sad part that we see is we generally see a race to the bottom. We don't see people, whether it's GOAT or whether it's eBay, just match the lowest price. They feel, oh, let me undercut by $2. And then the next guy does it by $2. And the next one by $5. The next thing you know, a shoe that was listed at, 139
Mm.
is down to $89. And the profit margins get out of control. And there's no point to be selling at that kind of price. A perfect example right now, if we want to talk real time,
Yeah.
there's a couple different items out right now. We're seeing a lot of people at Ross pick up the pink and white Vapor Max, the women's. the mint green Vapor Max and the women's. There's hundreds of listings on some of these. And, if I'm not mistaken, I think these are what, a 65 or $70 buy cost?
Yeah, I think I seen 59.99. Let's just call it 60.
Okay. 60. And then you got people that are listing at $90, 89.99. All right. So we
Mhm.
know first off, under $100, you're not going to get the you know, the total sale. They're going to charge you eBay fees at $100 even. You're not going to get hit with eBay fees. That's the magic number is $100. Okay.
Mhm.
So you're selling at $90. After eBay fees, and if you're doing free shipping, you're probably taking away what? Say we'll go soft. We'll go $10 on the listing, $8 on the shipping. So now your $90 sales down to $72. You paid 60. You're
Mhm.
making $12. You're making 20% profit margin. Is it a smart business decision to spend $60 to make $12 profit? I mean, we're not talking about Fortune 500 companies where that's a fair profit margin. It's ridiculous. I think somebody who's selling at that price, there's two ways to go about this. Either don't buy the product and just return it because, when you get to a point of having enough capital to bulk buy, you're just hurting yourself by killing the market on that product. Or B, go take that $60 and go buy $23 t-shirts at the Goodwill and make way more money. I just don't understand the point of spending 60 to make 12 or spending 80 to make 15. We're very few people are in this game that's a sustainable, you know, business to run in this reselling game that we're all playing.
Yeah, but I think for a lot of those people, I don't think it's a business. I don't think this is something that they're doing full time. I don't think this is something that they rely on. I think, you have heard people say, reselling is trendy. A lot of people want to put that in the Instagram handle where they're an entrepreneur. They got to hustle. People just go with the flow. Whatever the masses are doing, that's what they want to do. They want to be accepted. Now 20%, not my style, but if another person wants to make 20%, they have that liberty too. And I frankly don't even care that they're going to
No,
make 20%.
no, I'm fine with you too because I'm going to list
Yeah.
at the price that I want, and I'll wait a year and a half if I have to get the price that
Mm.
I want. I mean, you know, we're seeing right now the particle beige foam posit that was flooded out of control, and the same thing
Yeah.
with the Summit white foam posit that was flooded out of control.
Yeah.
People were dumping it 85, $90 on a
Yeah.
$50 buy. That white shoe, no box is going for almost $200 right now, and it hasn't even been a year later. The particle beige are popping up in Marshalls. People are selling them upwards of $300 now, and people who waited out the flood are getting paid.
Hmm.
Because they did it the proper way. They waited for all the undercutters to get out, and now they're making their money. I just don't understand why. Why would you? I get it. Listen, you want to flex for the gram. I get it. I
Hmm.
don't know what you're getting out of it, unless you have a point of, all right, I want to become a YouTuber. I want to monetize. I want to make money on ad revenue. You're not going to make money on Instagram by itself. You're not. So who gives a damn if you're flossing on Instagram? Are you going to get a trophy? Are you going to get a T-shirt, Instagrammer of the year? I mean, I know it sounds silly, but what do you get out of flexing on Instagram to waste your time? You're going out on the streets for hours to make $10 on a $60 buy. It doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and I think also too, not every person that sells on eBay or any platform or who is a reseller is not an automatic, business person. You always hear that cliche, just because you're in the kitchen don't make you a chef. And I think a lot of people, just because they go buy a shoe and it has some value, doesn't make them a smart business person. I mean, it it doesn't click. So I think there has to be an education for people to say, hey, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. But at one point, I was an undercutter because I had just started, didn't really understand it, but I was dealing with low end product. I wasn't buying $60. I was buying $5 Mike Trout baseball cleats or those Hirachis. And I'm buying them for $8 and then selling them for like 25, $30. And if I'm the lowest, I was okay with that. But as I grew, I just said my time's not worth it anymore personally. But I think a lot of the undercutters are just inexperienced resellers.
No, I think you're dead on with that. I agree with it. But one of the things in this day and age that we have is that all these resources of YouTube and Instagram
Yeah.
of people who are doing it the correct way. I mean, I think quite a few people, probably more than not, are finding this reselling game through Instagram or through YouTube.
Hmm.
They're probably finding it from some of the bigger personalities or wherever you want to call celebrity resellers.
Hmm.
But a lot of these celebrity resellers do it the right way. If you're smart enough to go on eBay and find their stores, or go on Poshmark and find their stores, and you look at how they're pricing, they are pricing at correct market value. They're not undercutting anybody. All right. So if you use your resources that you have and follow these people, look for their YouTube videos, look through their Instagram posts, learn from the people that have been in this game a long time. I'm not saying they're the best, but there's a reason that they've been around for a long time. They found a way to be sustainable and they're making the right profits. Yeah, we've seen plenty of people come into this game over the last year or two, come and go. They're around for a couple of months, they flash, they disappear, new ones come up. I get it. If you want to be in this game for the long term, which I don't see the point of doing this to sell 3 shoes a month and make $60. What's the point? You know what I mean? There's plenty of other things you can do as a hobby to make money. If you're gonna do this, I don't understand why you don't do it properly. Even if you are gonna buy 2 or 3 shoes a month, why make that low of a profit margin?
Well, everybody's in a different situation. When I first started, I was really 25%, 30%. That was actually my goal. And I wasn't really trying to get more, but that was just my mindset. And I think, with a lot of once I realized there was an indoor soccer cleat that I had listed, and there was like maybe 4 or 5 people, and I said I'm going to be at the lowest, and then I would monitor that, and I found out that people were selling them at a higher rate. Even this one dude that had a red couch and put the soccer cleats on this red couch, he sold his before mine, and I was the lowest. And then I said, you know what? I got to raise my price. Once I raised my price, Stevie, boom, it clicked. I was able to get more money, and I just figured out that you do have to be patient, but the individual has to determine if this is what they want, if this is what their time is worth. But there's it's a supply and demand. If you believe in your product, Stevie, and it's a good product, it's gonna sell eventually. Now, it's unfortunate that it's gonna take a while. However, if you don't believe in it, then maybe you shouldn't buy it.
No, I'm with you. If you have any doubt in your mind, I mean, don't just buy something because people are showing that item on Instagram. I mean, that's not a license to buy just because somebody's showing it. You know, how many things, when I put my YouTube videos out that I show, I'm showing, you know, video of finds. I'm not buying every single thing that I'm seeing people flex on Instagram. I'm buying what's right for my business model.
Right.
Me personally, I'm not looking for a 40 ROI. Do I take some items at 40, 50 ROI? Sure, I do. But I'm mainly going out looking for 100% ROI. I mean, that's where I want to be. And I understand that's not going to be every find,
Hmm.
but I want more of those than I do the 40 and 50% margins. I mean, I'm also at a point where I've been doing it a long time and I have large inventory. I'm all right with waiting a year. I have no issue with waiting a year and let all the, undercutters get out and then I get my profit that I want to see. I'm fine with the mindset. I feel bad watching people just waste their time and give away profits when they should be making way more money than they are. Look, I have no problem. I'll go on eBay and hunt them down. I'll find undercutters and buy their product off them and sell
Yeah.
it for more than what they had it listed for. I have no issue with that either. It's nice in that way because there's plenty of people that'll unload,
Yeah.
especially if you want to bulk buy off them. But I just don't, again, I wish people would just ask the questions and ask for help. There's plenty of good Instagram and YouTube people that will help. I get DMs every day, and I am more than happy to answer questions and listen, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm by far perfect. All right.
Hmm.
But I have a little bit of knowledge in this game. And there's not a day that goes by that I'll answer a DM and try to give people good advice on it, making their business better, making more money and getting true value for what their product's worth. Ask questions to people. That's what they're here for, to help out.
Yeah, I think, and for me, when it comes to undercutters, it's as a consumer, it's great. But I think in the marketplace, when you're selling against them, there could be a little bit like, oh man, like gosh, like this person's, tanking the price. And you don't have to set your price where they have it. You can go higher. Now, depending on the platform, there's not that much flexibility. And sometimes the price is set. But at the end of the day, man, if you believe in the product, it's a solid find. The demand, once the supply goes down, you'll be able to cash out. So I think for a lot of people out there that do get frustrated, yeah, I could sympathize with them, but at the same time, you got to focus on yourself and to continue to find leverage and just grow your business, one sale at a time.
Yeah, and I think if everyone just worries about themselves and not, you know, again, focusing on what everybody else on Instagram's doing,
Yeah.
build a proper business. And if you have those questions, look for the resources that can help you get better. One of the biggest things, listen, I'm in sales professionally. Like I said, I've said before, I run a large retail
Yeah.
chain. All right. I learned a long time ago the best thing you can do is suck up your pride. And at the end of the day, it's about making money. All right. So,
Mhm.
one of the things I did when I was in sales on the sales floor before I went into management is I looked for the people that were doing things the proper way. We get measured in my store on 7 or 8 different categories of revenue, from selling insurance policies to selling different types of product that I sell. There's different bonuses that come along with different product. I sought out the people that were killing it and leading the different categories in my location. And I sucked up my pride and I go, listen, what are you doing that's making you
Mhm.
successful? And there's nothing that flatters somebody more that is successful than asking them how they got there. Anybody who's truly successful, they're going to help. They're going to give you, and a lot of times the knowledge is very basic. It's the very basic fundamentals that they do day in and day out, and they don't deviate from what made them successful. Ask those questions. I guarantee you, if listen, we're not pointing fingers. If you're somebody who isn't sure how to price an item, this is their first couple months that are involved in this game. If you go on IG and message a couple different prominent resellers and ask their opinion, you're probably going to see very similar answers from the ones who are successful. And learn from these people. There's nothing wrong with asking. If somebody ignores you, all right, they ignore you. Move on to somebody else and ask questions. And, you know, it's almost like a mentorship. Look for
Mhm.
somebody that's willing to put some time in and making you better. I said, there's about 10 people that I talk to daily or every 2 days
Mhm.
that I've developed a relationship with them. I take pride in watching them grow and get better as salespeople, make more money, help their family. There's plenty of people out there in the Instagram community that will help, YouTube community that'll help.
Mhm.
And one of the things I think a lot of people do is they get so focused on eBay only or GOAT only. You got Poshmark, Macari, OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. There's so many avenues that you can cross list your product and get more exposure on it. It's as simple as that. I had a sale tonight of an item that I've had for about 9 months that a lot of people are selling right now for about 99 bucks. I got on Poshmark full 159 asking price, but I was patient on that item because I knew about the value of what I wanted to get for it. I got exactly what I wanted. I had to wait for it, but I was fine with waiting for it to get that profit. I think if you have, like you said before, if you have a solid product, wait it out and get the proper market value for it, and you'll just be better in the long term for that.
Yeah, I think as resellers, when you're selling an item that's it's similar, there's not much there that's different. You have to create the value. Where's the opportunity? And I think for a low baller that might have an item at let's say $100, and then you're higher, well, maybe you offer returns, maybe your pictures are cleaner, things like that. I don't want anybody to get discouraged. I think frustration is okay, but at the same time, you have to learn just to focus on yourself. And if another man or woman wants to sell an item for the cheap, hey, God bless them. They sell it, they exit. That's one less item in the supply chain. And so the fewer items there are in the marketplace, Stevie, now you start to have power as far as your pricing and if you want to sell it or not for whatever. So I think there's a lot of good things that can come out of this, but you know, I think for a lot of us we just have to get over that hump and just look at the situation a little bit different.
Yeah, I know, and I get emotional sometimes about it. And I've done it 2 or 3 times in the
Right.
last 6 months about certain product. There's a pair of Vapor Max at $75 in Ross, and somebody had it at 90 on Goat. I mean, I don't even know
Yeah.
how that's humanly possible. Just return the damn thing instead of doing that. Like it's just it doesn't make sense. I'm at the point though where I'm, truly starting to let it go. I mean, I know we joke around off air, and
Yeah.
I show you some of the things where I get undercut on a product. I got undercut on a product the other day. I've been selling at 125. Somebody came in and listed it at $65. I was low on Goat at 125. I mean, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But you know what? Listen, that item's already gone. It's already
Yeah.
off Goat. It's added away. They didn't even sell it at that price. And I'm back to the high listing again. So I think at the end of the day, like you said, if the pictures are proper, you offer 30 or 60-day returns, whether it's
Mm.
buyer paid or free. You're quick to answer any messages that come through to you. You have top rated or top rated plus. You're going to get priority over other people. If you use promoted listings, I think promoted listings are a great tool, especially if you're selling for over $100. You're not paying fees anymore. Bump yourself up the list and visibility. There's a lot of different things you can do to still get your maximum dollar. And
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I understand it. But part of it's frustration, part of it's breaking balls. I go on there and mess with people, but so at the end of the day, I hate seeing people put this effort in and really not making the money that they should. It hurts them. This is something they could be out in the street for hours and hours and hours on end, away from their family, and not making the money that they should make to be able to take care of their family. Listen, I take this serious. This is a serious side, hustle that I pay for things for my family with, and I know I'm going to get mine. But there's other people that are probably trying to do this who really are relying on the money, and I hate to see them throwing away cash that they could be helping their family with and helping provide. You really should look for the proper help and the proper channels to get mentoring and coaching, and make yourself better. There's no shame in asking questions to successful resellers and finding out how to make yourself better. We're involved. You and myself, we have some close friends on here that no one has an ego within our circle.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to make each other better. And we push each other and we root for each other and we drive each other every day to be more successful. Surround yourself with people who are successful and want to see you be better. And you're going to be better off for it in the long run. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure mentoring you, by the way. I mean,
I,
just so the audience
I
knows.
appreciate it, Joey. Thank you, man. You've done it. You've done a lot for me, my man.
Hey, look at you got your own YouTube channel now. You're growing. But I think all jokes aside, Stevie, I think for people that are low ballers, if you want to leave money on the table, that's up to you. For people that they want to list their products in the middle or they want to be high supply and demand, there's a lot of charts out there. You are going to get yours. It is going to take time, maybe not a lot or a little, but I think there's opportunity. Stay focused, stay positive. I think Stevie added some great tips. There's a lot of great people on Instagram that are willing to talk to you, some in your area, some not in your area, but I think definitely stay encouraged, and it's okay to be frustrated. But hopefully this helped out a lot of the listeners out there that are maybe particular, they're a low baller or maybe are an undercutter, or for the people that list higher and there's some frustrations there. Hang in there, you'll be all right. Stevie, where can people find you on social media? What are you up to these days?
Well, you can find me on Instagram as always at Stevie.d.reselling, and also on YouTube under the same handle. Sales have been good, but the finds have been slow. So I'm trying to put out videos as much as I can. I don't want to bore people to death with grind videos and things like that. I've put enough of those out, but the videos will keep coming out. I'm trying to put one out weekly for you guys. And how about yourself? Where can we find you at?
I'm at eBay Joey, or at a resellersjourney.com, and they can click on the links. I got a new segment that I'm working on that's coming out. It's called Sneaker Tour. So I'm interviewing people in the Southern California area in person, and after the interview, they're giving me a sneaker tour of their collection. So if anybody's out in Southern California area, please contact me. I would love to either interview you, or if you want to just do a sneaker tour where we talk about your collection. I think it would just be very insightful for people. But want to thank the audience for tuning in. If you want us to find a solution for your business, you can contact us on Instagram at eBayJoey or at Stevie.d.reselling, or you can visit the show's website at a resellersjourney.com, where you can submit a question. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to subscribe and also leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Remember, never forget why you started.